my friends, I'm Nick, 19 years old law student and an amateur movie maker. In this video I would like to draw your attention to the environmental problems. In what wonderful world we live! Green trees, majestic mountains, full of wonders and dangers sea at depth. It's home for diverse, amazing life forms, including humans. We should appreciate and respect our legacy, preserve and protect the environment, because it affects our lives too. Unfortunately, we handle it really badly in the latest time. Ozone holes, water pollution, extinction of species, it's all the result of our actions. Everything is our fault. The global problems are grow out of small problems. For example, somebody doesn't have enough of courtesy to bring up the garbage to the bin. Last summer, when I was in the Crimea, I stacked a lot of rubbish in a heap on the beach to show the people how they had littered the environment, just throwing cigarette butts. Unfortunately, this sign wasn't understood by anyone, and they just destroyed my construction. Maybe it was not the best attempt, but I'm sure that the first what we need to do to solve the problem is to change ourselves. And what about you? What do you think about the environmental situation in our world?
Well, to my mind, the ecological situation in our world is not as bad as some people describe it. Of course, there are a lot of problems that need to be solved, but they mostly appear in big cities. But if we take, for example, Siberia, we can find there hundreds and hundreds square kilometers of wild forests with amazingly fresh air and a big variety of creatures living there. But unfortunately, we live in Moscow, one of the biggest cities in Europe. So we have to struggle hardly for our environment just to survive and remain healthy.
In fact, it's very difficult to talk about the global environment, as there are places with a fairly good environment and there are negative places too.
Healthy ecology is very important for us, but cars, factories and rubbish pollute our nature. Everybody must contest with this situation.
I think that the environmental situation in the world cannot be called favorable. Certainly, we have a lot of environmental global problems like ozone holes, air pollution and many others. For example, in large cities, especially during the summer, it's simply impossible to breathe by reason of exhaust gas.
What do you think we need to do first to solve the environmental problems?
Firstly, we must use clear fuel for our cars and factories. Secondly, we must sort our rubbish so the special factories can process it.
Well, I think we should take into account the European experience of fighting against pollution. For example, they are now trying to use the alternative sources of energy like solar or wind energy, and also I see the great opportunity of saving the environment in using their standards of exhaust. And of course, saving our environment and our nature is the responsibility of every particular human being.
In my opinion, at first, people must realize what these problems can cause. Only after that we can talk about any ways to solve them. And of course, this should be solved at the international level.
We need to create new waste treatment plants and move to more environmental energy, like wind energy.
What specifically are you doing to help our nature, and what success did you achieve?
Unfortunately, I don't do anything special. I simply try to keep clean. I throw out rubbish in specially reserved for these places. Few times I took part in Subotnik. It would be great if they had collects more and more people.
It's hard to say how much I have succeeded, but in general I try to follow the rules for the protection of the environment.
Well, unfortunately, I don't take part in any ecological organization, but I do everything that I can to keep my city clean. For example, I always drop my litter to a litter bin, and I think every person must do that.
I use transport only when it is necessary. I don't make a mess on the streets and in other places.